Who turned the lights on? Did I do that? Hello, friends. How are you? How's things where you are? Yeah, we're still snowy and crazy. When I woke up this morning, it was negative 15 Fahrenheit. That's like negative 25, 26 Celsius for my European friends. It is currently 15 degrees Fahrenheit, which is like negative 10 Celsius. So it's cold. It's very, very cold here, which is not super unusual for winter time. But I would say for the last handful of winters or more, it has been very unusual. We haven't had real cold winters in a long time. Um, I don't really have anything to talk about today. Yesterday, I put a post on social media, which I don't do very often, but on my Instagram, if you follow me there, I do sometimes put stuff on Instagram. I took a picture of playing bass. I was working on a song. I've been working on a few like electronic Boards of Canada, Aphex Twin, Nine Inch Nails type stuff. Um, and I've wanted to. The whole point of doing that was to have an excuse to play. So I was trying to track a song yesterday with like the most basic bass line, just eighth notes, and I could not get them in time. I tried fingerstyle, and I would always end up loping. Pick, like I just couldn't. I could not get clean takes, and I spent probably an hour trying to get clean takes, and just really struggled. Today after work, I think I'm just gonna put the metronome on and just go at it for a while and just try to put in like maybe a half hour, 45 minutes of just plucking eighth notes for, just to do it. And try and do that every day for a while and see if I improve. So, with that in mind, we've had a decent amount of interesting comments and questions this week, so I thought I would tackle a few of them. One that hit me yesterday was Chris asked out of the blue, "What's your favorite firewood?" Um, which is a fun one. Firewood. I don't really think about firewood a whole lot. I do not have a fireplace here, but I have grown up camping. I have grown up winter camping specifically. I love winter camping. So I have burned a lot of woods. And it depends on what you're trying to do with your fire, right? If we're talking about just the smell of it, I would probably say cherry. Cherry smells kind of sweet and nice, and it doesn't pop and crackle a lot like some woods. But if we're talking like a good cooking fire, I don't think you can really beat oak. It burns hot enough but slow enough that you can really cook well on some coals. Maple is great for that as well. Pine is great for like starting a fire and it burns real hot real fast, but not great for long term use and it kind of stinks. So I'm gonna probably say cherry. It's got kind of a sweet scent to it. And I do not like cherries at all. Like, I really don't like cherries. Especially artificial flavored cherry. Just the thought of cherry flavoring makes me sick to my stomach. Um, I don't know why. I've talked a lot about this over my life. um, and I've still never fully figured out a reason why. Like, I don't have I don't have any traumatic cherry experiences that I can think of, but I freaking cannot stand cherries. Like to the point that for most of my life I would just avoid red foods unless I knew it was a tomato-based food. If it was red, like especially a candy or a ice cream or something, I just wouldn't eat it because I don't like raspberries either. I've never liked berry flavorings in anything. Anyway, but the wood smells great. The wood smells fantastic. It like I said, it smells kind of sweet when you burn it. Um, okay. Uh, Chris asked another question I know. Oh, movies. This is one he asked. This is California Chris, by the way. Indiana Chris, go away. No, don't go away. Keep coming back. But this is California Chris. He said, "Got any movies on your radar that you're looking forward to in 2025? What are your favorite movies that you watched for the first time last year?" Um, I had to go and look at my books because I didn't remember watching any movies last year. It ended up I watched three and I had seen them all before, so I did not watch any new movies last year. Um, Just not a thing I do. I very rarely watch movies. I have absolutely no idea what's coming out this year. That's not 100% true. I think that there's something that caught my eye. I don't remember what it is, and I won't go see it. So, and I don't have streaming services, so I don't know that I'll ever get to see it. Let me take that back. I did watch some I watched some new comedy specials. Do those count as movies? I watched some new specials last year, but I couldn't tell you what they were or who. I have a list somewhere. But yeah, that movies aren't really a thing. Jonathan had kind of an interesting reaction to my talk about not liking the look of plywood. I don't like plywood because it looks like plywood, and to me that looks like cheap factory built furniture. On this kitchen island, if it weren't going to be, this is like a 2 foot by 4 foot kitchen island in the middle of the kitchen. If it was not going to be painted, I would not make it out of plywood because it just looks cheap. It looks like you took some wood and rolled it out on paper, which is exactly what you did. And it just doesn't look, there's not enough variation. There's not, it just looks, cathedral grain is ugly. This isn't, I don't like the aesthetic of this. He did mention that, he's asked if that included the Baltic birch stuff. Yeah, like all of the plywoods that are just rolled out wood, it just looks like rolled out wood. It's not an attractive look in my opinion. He said, that plywood's perfect for cabinetry, and I agree with that. Like if you're building especially a set of kitchen cabinets where maybe you'll see one end panel, but for the most part you're looking at doors and face frames. Doors and face frames are typically made out of solid wood, and maybe the center panel in a door, but we're only talking like a very small area. It's not like this obviously, the thing about plywood is, I'm looking at this 4 foot long piece of plywood right here. It's obvious that this didn't come out of a single, like a slice of a tree. This isn't the slice of a tree. This is if you took a peeler and unrolled the tree. And so, but when you put it in a door frame, you could imagine, well, maybe there is a tree that wide that we could have bored out of, and it doesn't look as off. But when it's rolled out like this, nah, I think it looks like crap. Yeah, if this was going to be this was going to be the look, I would have made it out of glued up. I would have glued up a panel to make it look more attractive, in my opinion. Yeah, I think that's part of the reason we don't see like a plywood tabletop like this, because it doesn't look good, I think that's it. I think those are the main questions I wanted to get to. I appreciate you guys asking questions. I really mean that when I say it. Please ask questions. Please do so, especially if there's something that we can talk about like in depth. I enjoy it. I enjoy answering questions. I don't know that I'm an expert on anything worth asking, though. I can tell you what I'm not an expert on, and that is playing eighth notes on a bass guitar. I'm going to go practice that as soon as work is over. What are you going to do tonight? It's Wednesday. Do you got anything special planned? Let me know. Thank you for being here. Please like and comment, and please subscribe if you're not. I very much appreciate that. In fact, yesterday is the first day in a very long time, like in 5 years, I think, that I've seen positive subscriber growth. I had a positive number when I checked YouTube. Usually it said, I've lost 10, I've lost whatever. Yesterday it was positive 1. We gained subscribers. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Today's 1,000 plus little things happy, successful people do differently. We have been learning 12 things to know before letting go. Number 11. It usually takes just a few negative remarks to kill a person's dream. Don't kill people's dreams with negative words, and don't put up with those who do. Don't let people interrupt you and tell you that you can't do something. If you have a dream that you're passionate about, you must protect it and help others do the same. I think this is an important reason why I kind of stopped talking about things that I want to do, because it ends up, you inevitably get the person who says, well, you can't do that because of this, and screw that person. Like, I don't want to be that person. I stopped being that person. I've taken on the role of saying yes if instead of no because. Meaning, if you suggest we do something, I'll say, yes, we can do that if we can accomplish this. It's, systematically, it's the same thing as saying, no, we can't do that because this is unachievable. But it turns it back on you. Like, let's come up with a brainstorm. Let's figure this out. And that's a much more powerful way of looking at things. And so, yeah, it takes less than remarks. It takes a single remark for me to lose interest in my dreams. I'm fragile like that, I guess.